Question 1, Part 1. Now I'm owning both devices, but most of the times I use my computer because it's a multifunctional device equipped with a very powerful processor. So, it can serve a wide range of my needs, such as working, studying, entertaining, and so on. Question 2. The most recent technological device I have bought was my computer. I bought it from one of my colleagues 2 years ago. At that time, I was very tired of carrying my laptop back and forth between my home and my office. So, I definitely had to buy a new table computer. And fortunately, my colleague had one that he used once in a blue moon. Question 3. Right now my answer is probably not, because with my phone, my laptop, my computer, I think I have enough electronic devices to serve my needs. But in the long run, if there's a new technology that I find interesting, I think I'm willing to experience and even pay for it. Question 4. It's crucial, I think. Honestly, I could not imagine what my life would be if I didn't have those technological devices. As I have mentioned about, it serves a wide range of my needs, from making a living, from reading books, from listening to music, and so on. So I can say that my life cannot be without them. Part 2. So today I would like to tell you about a time that I used my phone to look for a route from my relative's house to the apartment that I rented. To begin with, I have lived with my parents for more than 25 years in Hanoi. So in order to have an independent life, I decided to step out of my comfort zone to move to Ho Chi Minh City. On my very first day there, I had to move from Tân Bình District, where my relative's house was, to Bình Thạnh District to have a first look at the apartment that I was about to rent. More often than not, I asked the residents about the way, but with such a very far distance, I could not do it. And honestly, I had no idea what way to go. And that was the time my phone came into play. I used Google Maps, an application that could determine where I was and help me to find the road properly. But out of luck, in the middle of the way, 2 traffic policemen stopped at the head of my motorbike and shouted at me, "Stop right there!" I was caught because of using my phone during the driving time, and they even threatened to confiscate my driver license. But after a while of begging, I was told to pay a 200,000 Vietnam dong fine. How unlucky I was on just the very first day. Question 1, Part 3. There are several purposes associated with using a cell phone. First and foremost, the phone was invented initially to make contact with friends, families, colleagues. So it's truly the very first basic function of this tool. And through thousands of years, this compact tool has evolved to become a multifunctional device which people use for many purposes, like working, studying, surfing web, or entertaining themselves by watching films, by listening to music, and so on. Question 2 part 3. There's a clear distinction between the attitude of the young people and the elderly in using cell phones. The former, I think, are more open-minded with such electronic devices, and the more modern the device is, the more interesting they are, and moreover, those people might be more willing to pay a large amount of money in order to be a pioneer in experiencing cutting-edge technology. The latter, I think, just use their phones for some basic functions like making contact, like surfing the web, and they could hardly take full advantage of their devices. Question 3 part 3. It depends on the situation, I think. For example, when people are in emergency circumstances like a fire or an accident and they need to call an ambulance, making phone calls immediately might play a more important role, because if we don't race against the time, some unfortunate incidents may happen. But in the context of a meeting or some other situations that are less of an emergency, sending and reading messages might be a better choice, because it can avoid disturbing other people. So I will not give judgment on which thing is more crucial. Question 4 part 3. It is undeniable that the way people make phone calls loudly in public places is very annoying and can disturb others. But when it comes to a law to deal with such a simple issue, I think it's just a waste of force. In order for a law to be followed strictly by residents, the government has to invest a lot of money, time, labor, or even technology. So instead, I think everyone should equip themselves with the awareness of maintaining public order.